All right, in this exercise, we are going to learn how to use the gradient tool and how to fill an object with a gradient color. Right now, you can see I have my instructions open, and they are over here on the right-hand side of my screen because I'm following along, as you should also be using your text to follow along and create these exercises. What we want to do first is we want to click on this shape here, this bird looking shape. This is the bird's body. We want to select that shape, and we're going to fill it with a black and white gradient fill. There are a couple of ways to do that. Number one, we can just go right over here to our toolbar, and at the bottom of our toolbar there's a gradient, and that's a black and white gradient that we can click on and apply. So that is one way to do it. The other way to do it is to click right over here on fill and make sure you have your swatches up. And if you do have your swatches up, you can kind of make your way right here to this black and white gradient fill. It's basically the same thing, except after I click this, I now have to click gradient options so I can go in and edit it. When you use the toolbar fill, you do not have to do that. The gradient option thing pops up for you automatically. Okay. So speaking of gradients, here we are going to edit our colors, and the gradient is basically color stops. On one side you have white, on the other side you have black, and then Adobe Illustrator just fills in. You can see the grays here, and you can see I'm sliding this to make it more black, but it basically goes from white to gray to black. That's what a gradient does. We're going to edit this gradient to look the way we want it to look, and I'm going to put that right at 50%. Ha. Okay. First, I'm going to double click the side with the white fill. Double click it. Make sure you have your swatches here. You may find yourself with the color picker like this right here, but you want to have your swatches up. And in your swatches, you're going to find a swatch called cream. It's right here in the middle. Click on it, and it applies that color to one side. Deselect. Double click on the black gradient slider. Again, make sure you have your swatches up. And for this one, we're going to click on blue. And so now you can see I have a gradient going from that cream color to the blue color. And those are what the stops are right here. The gradients, they work in multiple ways. I can add another stop right here in the middle. And I can say go from cream to, this is going to be ugly, but go from cream to red to blue. And now you can see I've got the cream here, the red in the middle, and the blue over here. So for the purposes, though, of what we're doing, we just want to have, by the way, let's get rid of that. We just want to have two stops, one with that, one with that cream color and one with that blue color. Once you have that, keep this object selected and go right over to your toolbar and select the gradient tool. And you can actually edit the gradient tool from here as well. We're going to start at the bottom here, and we're just going to click and drag up, and notice how it makes that gradient as I click and drag up. And I can drag up as far as I want to if that's what I want to do. You can see I dragged way up there, but let me go back here and just set it right to where we want it, holding shift so that it's nice and straight. And there is your gradient. Once you've done that, save it and turn it in.